Continuation of Topics and Their Backgrounds. Part 1. Surah AnNisa. The moral and religious condition of the people of the book has been reviewed to teach lessons to the Muslims and to forewarn them to refrain from following in their footsteps. The conduct of the hypocrites has been criticized, and the distinctive features of hypocrisy and true faith have been clearly marked off to enable the Muslims to distinguish between the two. To cope with the aftermath of the Battle of Uhud, inspiring discourses were sent down to urge the Muslims to face the enemy bravely, for the defeat in the battle had so emboldened the mushrik Arab clans and the neighboring Jews and the hypocrites at home that they were threatening the Muslim. At this critical juncture, Allah filled the Muslims with courage and gave them such instructions as were needed during that period of war clouds. In order to counteract the fearful rumors that were being spread by the hypocrites and the Muslims of weak faith, they were asked to make a thorough inquiry into them and to inform the responsible people about them. Then they were experiencing some difficulties in offering their salat during the expeditions to some places where no water was available for performing their ablutions, etc. In such cases they were allowed to cleanse themselves with pure earth and to shorten the salat or to offer the salat of fear when they were faced with danger. Instructions were also given for the solution of the puzzling problem of those Muslims who were scattered among the unbelieving Arab clans and were often involved in war. They were asked to migrate to Al-Medinu, the abode of Islam. This surah also deals with the case of Bani Nadir, who were showing a hostile and menacing attitude. In spite of the peace treaties they had made with the Muslims, they were openly siding with the enemies of Islam and hatching plots against the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Muslim community. Even at Al-Medinu itself, they were taken to task for their inimical behavior and given a final warning to change their attitude, and were at last exiled from Al-Medinu on account of their misconduct. The problem of the hypocrites, who had become very troublesome at that time, was involving the believers in difficulties. Therefore, they were divided into different categories to enable the Muslims to deal with them appropriately. Clear instructions were also given regarding the attitude they should adopt towards the non-belligerent clans. The most important thing needed at that time was to prepare the Muslims for the bitter struggle with the opponents of Islam. For this purpose, greatest importance was attached to their character building, for it was obvious that the small Muslim community could only come out successful, nay, survive, if the Muslims possessed high moral character. They were, therefore, enjoined to adopt the highest moral qualities and were severely criticized whenever any moral weakness was detected in them. Though this surah mainly deals with the moral and social reforms, yet due attention has been paid to propagation of Islam. On the one hand, the superiority of the Islamic morality and culture has been established over that of the Jews, Christians, and mushriks. On the other hand, their wrong religious conceptions, their wrong morality, and their evil acts have been criticized to prepare the ground for inviting them to the way of the truth. Subject: consolidation of the Islamic community. The main object of this surah is to teach the Muslims the ways that unite a people and make them firm and strong. Introductions for the stability of family, which is the nucleus of community, have been given. Then they have been urged to prepare themselves for defense, Side by side with these, they have been taught the importance of the propagation of Islam. Above all, the importance of the highest moral character in the scheme of consolidation of the community has been impressed. Remaining part will be aired next episode. Stay connected. To watch more, subscribe.